Hello, Michael Anfield here, and thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about a friend. See if I can get some advice on my friend. So, I did post it on Facebook, and I got a lot of disturbing comments. And this is on the pornography industry. Porno, or porn as some people call it. Now, recently within the last so many months, I've seen a few good videos about porn stars speaking out against the pornography industry. And those videos were really, it hit me really hard. Even though I don't watch pornography. So, my friend asked me, well, I don't see, and he's vegan, I don't see women as property, but I watch pornography when I get sexually aroused, or some people call it horny. And he doesn't want to watch these videos because he knows they're demonizing towards women and towards, of course, those men as well. And they are really sexist against women. So I just want to share my thoughts and views on this matter and get people to understand why pornography is so bad in itself. A lot of stars, porn stars, they're very much suppressed. They suppress their feelings, and they're really abused, especially the women. And people that are in it just because of the money, because it's so easy to make money. So when we think about, or when we hear about these stories about ex-porn stars speaking out against the industry, it really ruins not just their own lives, their sexual relationships, their marriage, and so forth. It ruins the people that are in the actual industry, the stars that are in the industry. So when we look and we really see into the lives of these performers, you'll see that it's not a good life. They're really being exploited, especially the women. So my friend asked me, well, how do I stop watching these things? I know it's detrimental to my health because I'm watching a lot of it. Now, I used to watch a fair share of it in my time. But as time went on, I just didn't have time to watch these things that really just didn't mean anything to me. Now, men are usually the ones that like these movies more because of the fact that we have testosterone, and so we have all these urges, and women have urges too, don't get me wrong, but not like men at all. So I want to let people know that, especially that it's men who cause the wars, men who cause the devastation towards children, as in, child molestations and child pornography and so forth. And so much more that need to be addressed. And I think it's because of the testosterone and the male dominance and the patriarchal society that we live in, that men tend to be more violent and dominating towards other beings. So we essentially we need to get away from this destructive industry. So not only is it harmful to the employees, the workers in these trades, but also to ourselves, especially people that are consistently watching these materials day in and day out. And a lot of times it ruins people's lives. I've noticed at some points in my life when I was somewhat addicted to it, I would lose time at work. I would be late. I would be late for appointments, or I would waste days on, days in watching that stuff. And I just got to thinking as time went on, it's ruining my life. So I just, little by little, I just got rid of it as time went on, and I preoccupied myself with other things. It just eventually went away from my life. But from time to time, it does creep back into our lives. And sometimes really bad. It's like, it is a drug. It really is. And anything can be a drug. That could be a drug. Food can be a drug. All sorts of things can be drugs. But we have to know how to handle them and how to really understand. Is it for my betterment or is it for the worst? But that's the thing here. So I think preoccupying ourselves with other more useful things in our lives, yeah, that's better. We have to be productive. We have to be, this is Brampton, the park here, Jacuzzi Park. But we have to be preoccupied with something that really is worthwhile, that really helps the world in some way, humans or non-humans, or the environment. And so once we have a purpose in life, once we really deeply understand who are we, who am I, self-contemplation, understanding what is our purpose, then we start to stray away from all these frivolous things like pornography and alcohol and smoking and things like that. Because all these things are really not in our best interest. And some people say, well, it really doesn't harm anyone just by watching. And I thought the same way too, like, no, it's not harming anyone. And the people are doing it, the workers are doing it out of their own free choice. But sometimes they're not doing it out of their own free choice. As a lot of them say, they're struggling for work. And so this is really like easy work. And if you're somewhat good looking, they will take you into the industry. Or even if not, you can make your own home movies, or you can make, do the, what do you call it, the chats, webcams and stuff like that. So that's another alternative that people are willing to do. Because I know it's a very cutthroat business, and it's not always easy to get into the industry. And there are, of course, a lot of companies and a lot of people that lie as well. I had another friend who wanted to get into the pornography industry because he said it was easy money and he gets to have sex with so many women. And he got his pictures. They asked him for some pictures he needed to get done, and he needed to spend money on it. So he's paid, I don't know, a couple $1,000s for professional photos done, and then they said they needed some more photos done and something like that. He went 2 or 3 times back and forth, and in the end, nothing really inspired from that. It was a lie. He really did not get into the industry, and I think they just fled eventually, because he tried contacting them several times and nothing ever happened. So that's another thing, is the industry, the people in the industry are so deceiving. They just all they care about is money. They don't really care about the workers, these performers. They don't care about them at all. So a lot of times these workers have very serious health conditions. They have venereal diseases, and they have HIV and AIDS, a lot of them. And they have a lot of times really health issues down where their genital areas are. Real health conditions, serious health conditions actually. And I'm not going to go into the gory details of what I've learned, but yeah, it's not fun at all. It's not fun and games at all. So that's another thing about it, is that the workers are being exploited. But we don't see that because we only see the smaller picture. And that's the thing, even when it comes to animal agriculture. We see the smaller picture. We see the meat, the flesh of animals, or we see the secretions of animals. And we think nothing of it because we don't see the bigger picture. We don't see the deep cause, the deep suffering it causes. And we don't see the deep violence that it reverberates throughout the world and universe. It really is a disgusting industry, both the animal agriculture and the pornography industry. I'm very, very much against it and speaking out against it. I haven't been doing this until recently, so I've been posting some videos and things like that, but I really wanted to come out against it because I think it's ruining a lot of people's lives, especially marital relationships and sexual relationships between partners, especially when it comes to male. And I understand that there are some couples that watch it for education, or they watch it for, I don't know, maybe they like it and they watch it together. But in the end, it really it serves no one positively. And we need to shun away from all these disgusting practices that exploit humans and essentially exploit all of the creatures that are on this earth, sharing this earth with us. There is, again, no positive benefit towards these frivolous activities. Yeah, there may be some immediate satisfaction, as in when we so-called get horny, we feel good at that moment. But that's the same way when we take any substance into our bodies, may it be really like extreme heavy drugs, or may it be the feeling of when we drink coffee or alcohol or anything like that. We tend to get this little rush, this good feeling within ourselves. And so we know that this good feeling, and especially when we're eating animal foods, we get this good feeling like, oh, it tastes good. It tastes good, and we like that few moments of pleasure. Just like when I was abusing my companion animals, I loved abusing them because it gave me a rush. The first few moments, it gave me a rush. It gave me this feeling, and I just loved that feeling. But in the end, I knew that it was not a good thing. It was not a good thing. That's why I speak very openly about my life and about situations out there, because I want people to learn and understand these things, all these things that we're doing today in this world is not in our best interest, not in our best innate values of kindness and compassion and wisdom and joy and happiness and all that. It goes totally against everything that we stand for, truly innately stand for, which is really peace for all life on this earth. And until we start to realize that, until we start to say, hey, I need to align myself with love. Love for all of the creatures that share this earth with us. Love for all life on this earth, for nature, for universal energy force, for God, all life. We got to stop all this madness, because otherwise we're never going to get to this world we really want to live in. And truly, all of us, and I'm telling you, every single person out there, every single being out there really wants to live in harmony and peace and harmony on this earth. People really do. That's why they are killing, because they feel like when I kill someone, it's going to bring that peace and justice. But they don't understand how destructive that is. And of course, violence begets violence. So there's so much devastation that all of this causes, all these things that I just mentioned causes. Really, we need to have empathy for all life, compassion for all life. And coming back to porn, we have to understand that if we get aroused by seeing other people having sex, that is something totally absurd and something that it's totally absurd how we would get so sexually aroused by seeing two people or seeing one person like playing with themselves or having sex. Like, this is, to me, it just looks and sounds ridiculous. To find it entertaining, find it maybe educational or whatever you find it to be, but it just seems so ridiculous, and it seems so absurd that we're actually watching people having sex, and especially nowadays in the porn industry, watching all this abnormal sexual activity that goes on between different people, even if it's just watching someone in a webcam masturbating or whatever it may be. It is seeing others as sexual objects. And my friend, even though he knows that, women are not sexual objects and no one is, it's hard to get drugs out of your life, and pornography is a drug. Pornography started with the advent of prostitution. So prostitution led to people seeing other people as property. So I think it started, and this is just my belief, and I think this started just when agriculture was happening. We started seeing other animals as property, and then we started seeing, of course, humans as property, especially female humans, as we mostly see female animals as property, as we get them to reproduce, and we sexually abuse them, we keep breeding them, and we then do the same thing to women in our society. That's why we have 7 billion people that we do have in the world today. I think back before agriculture, way before agriculture, people didn't have the same views as we have today about women and about the property status of other animals and about, having so many kids and all this stuff. And we really need to change our views on the whole aspect of living and our culture that we're born into. And so I just want everyone to think, not just my friend here that I'm addressing this video to, but everyone who not only watches pornography, but supports in any way violence towards any being, towards the environment and so forth. We need to stop this and speak out about it. And we need to speak out about any injustice that goes on in the world today. So I want to thank you so much for listening. I know this has been a long video, but thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the scenery today in Brampton. And that's really about it, everyone. I love you all. Please share this message far and wide with everyone. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.